first class of Python Basics course. In today's session, we'll take our first steps into the world of programming with Python. By the end of this class, you'll understand the foundational concepts of Python programming and have hands-on experience to practice. Let's dive right in. So in today's session, we will be covering these concepts. First of all, we'll go towards the algorithmic problem solving. So what is algorithmic problem solving? Well, it's programming is actually all about solving the problems, and before we write the code, we need to think of a solution as a series of steps. This is called an algorithm. For example, let's say if you are making a cup of tea, the algorithm might be that first you boil the water, then second step would be to add tea leaves, and then third step would be to add sugar and milk, and then stir and serve. These are the steps that you will do to actually make a tea. Similarly, in programming, first write these steps in plain English and then translate them into code. For example, let's say our problem is to calculate the sum of the first 5 natural numbers. So what should be our algorithm? Well, for you to calculate the first 5 natural numbers, you should start with a total of 0 and then add each number from 1 to 5 in that total. In the end, what you will get is the total sum. So we will implement this algorithm in Python. Let's say, for example, the total is, do not go with the syntax right now. I'll explain to you how we write this. Just understand that total is equals to 0. I have assigned total as 0, and then I am going from 0 to 5 and then adding every parameter in total. I'll explain what this for and print statement means, but this is the Jupyter notebook, and let's see what we will get. So we have done the sum of the first 5 natural numbers is 15. That's what we should get, and that's what we will get. Now let's move forward. We'll see that introduction to the high-level language programming. So what it is about. High-level languages are programming languages that are easy for humans to read and write, as they are closer to natural language. Python is one such HLN. So there are other programming languages like C++ also, which are not really it is easy to understand, but the syntax is not very easy. So in Python, it is more of English type of structure. So that's one of the things. There is another program. We'll run this later. Now let's see about navigating an integrated development environment. Now what is an integrated development environment? It is an environment, IDE. That's what we call it. An IDE is a tool that makes coding easier by providing features like syntax highlighting, debugging, and code execution. Two popular Python IDEs are VS Code and Jupyter Notebook, and we are going to use Jupyter Notebook because I personally like it. VS Code is also great, but I haven't used it much. So Jupyter Notebook, for you to open Jupyter Notebook, I'll just show you a demo. So you will have to. So I'll go to this. I'll go here and I'll open the Jupyter Notebook. How will you open it? Well, for you to open it, you can go and write down here. You can download it, and then you can write Jupyter Notebook here as a command. It will automatically open the Jupyter Notebook in a browser, where you can go to the different folders, and wherever you want to create that Jupyter Notebook. Then inside that, if you open that link, you will get what you want. Now because I have already opened that, I will continue to work on that. Inside this, we'll write the code. Let's say, for example, first code that we write whenever we enter here, it is a usual standard to write hello Python or hello world. That's what we do. So this is print statement. Print is like, it's simple. This language is so easy to understand. It is simple English. You are saying that you print the statement that I'm giving inside this colons, inside this parenthesis. Now why have I kept this inside the colon is to show that this is a complete thing that I want you to print, not just a single variable. Now what are these variables, keywords, etc.? We'll go through that. So what are keywords? Keywords are the reserved words in Python that have specific meanings and cannot be used as variable names. There are some keywords, some things that are assigned already, and if you use them, then there will be ambiguity in the code. So the code, it is a machine, and machine doesn't understand much. So it has to be given certain instructions. So you have given this word, and machine interprets this word in a certain way that you will know later. So that's why you can't use these words apart from anywhere else. So you are using if, else, while, for, break, continue, pass. You can't use them for assigning a variable. So these are the keywords. And we'll just do an example. Let's say, so if true, what does this mean? If this is true, the statement is true, then print this statement. Now, because we haven't given any condition for anything, it is obviously going to be true. So hence it's printed this statement for me. We'll move forward for data types. So data types are the things that define the data of a variable. Let's say you see an object, and then you can say what it is. It is a notebook. It is a pen. So how there are different type of pens, but if you have called it a pen, that means it's a pen. Now it can be of any type, but you have assigned a name to this thing. That's what the data type also does. They kind of give the structure to the variable that you are naming. So int is a data type that assigns that this variable that you are assigning is going to be an integer. Example, obviously 5. Any natural number, any integer is integer. Now float is a decimal numbers, the real numbers that we have. We assign them through float. Now bool is boolean, which can store only two types of values, true or false. That's why it's boolean. Now str, it's for string. Any string that you store, you can store in a variable which is of string type. And then there is list, which is a collection of items. Okay. And let's take an example. We can go to the Jupyter notebook, see the data types. Here x is equals to 5. What are we doing here? It is an integer type variable. Now because it's Python, it's one of the great things about Python is that you don't actually have to assign that this variable is going to be of this type. In other languages like C++, you have to assign a variable first, that assign the variable through data types. But here what you have to do is just write the equation, that is x equals to 5. Now it will automatically understand that 5 is an integer, and hence you are storing it as an integer. If you are assigning it as a floating point, then you will write it as 5.0, or you will give a decimal point to it, which is there in the second point. Then third is true. If you are giving true or false, then it automatically understands it's a boolean, and similarly the other things also. So it's a great feature of Python, and that's why it's very user friendly. Now going to operators. What are operators? Operators are the symbols that performs operations on variables and values. But what? Okay, so you have understood the variables. You have understood they have values also. They are assigned the values. But when you are operating something, now if you have to if you have to do anything, divide, you have to subtract something, or you have to compare something, how will you do that? This is done by operators. There are three types of operators: arithmetic, comparison, and logical. Now in the arithmetic operators, we have plus, minus, multiply, divide, and then this is mod. Mod is used for getting the uh, integer value of a decimal number. The only the integer decimal number is truncated from there. It is only the integer value there. Now for comparison operator, you have greater than, less than, double equals to, which is used for comparing, and then this exclamation mark equals to is an indication of not equals to. So you are comparing them. And then logical operators are and, or, not. Okay, so we'll take an example here now of operators, and we'll see. We have a is equals to 10, b is equals to 20. If we print a plus b, what is a plus b going to be? A plus b should be the summation of both of these things. Now because both of these are integer type, they will be easily, we can add them, correct? So a plus b will give us 30. print a greater than b. Now we are comparing if a is greater than b, but a is not greater than b. We can easily see that 10 is not greater than 20, so it should show us false. And in the third part, we have print a is, if a is greater than 5 and b is greater than less than 30, then what is the answer? Now because we are using the logical operator here, we will get something in true or false. Okay, so a is greater than 5, that's correct. B is less than 30, that is also correct. And we are using and. If we would have used or, then if one of the condition is true, it would have given us true. But for you to use and both of the things should be true. Because both of the things are true, we should also get true here. Let's see what are the answers are. Now first 30, second is comparison, a is not greater than b and hence false, and the third part was true as expected. Now what if I make this change? What if I make b as a floating point number? What will I get now? Let's see. Now the very interesting thing is that it has converted a, you can add an you can add any real number, you can add any natural number in a any integer in a real number, that's true. But if I would have assigned another variable of different data type, let's say I am assigning a as hello, I am assigning it as a string, then I cannot add this, I cannot compare this, and hence these should give me an error. Let's see that. See, can only concate str, which is you can't add a string and a real number. So you have to keep in mind that when you are doing operations, you have to be careful about the different operations. Correct? Now go for variables and expressions. What are variables? Variable, it is a name, it is named location used to store data. Now what these variables are that we have done, these are called variables where we store some sort of data, be it an integer, be it a string, be it any type, they are called variables. Now expressions are the combination of variables, operators and values that produces a result. What are they called? Let's see. So this is a variable, x is a variable, y is a variable, but z is storing the value of x and y as a sum. So what this expression is called, it is called, exactly, it's called expression. And hence in the end what we are doing, we are printing the sum of x and y, which is z. So it should be 30. Let's see, sum is 30. Great. Now we'll move forward for the great concept, which is the control flow. Now control flow, control flow allows us to make decisions in our programs. Now let's explore the conditional statements here. We have three types of statements. One is if statement, another is if else, and third is if else. Now let's quickly see what they are. Now if statement is a comparison statement which takes care of comparing the variable that you are passing into the expression. Let's say x is equals to 10 and you are comparing if that x is greater than 5. If that x is greater than 5, I want you to print x is greater than 5. That's my if statement. So what should it give me? It will give me x is greater than 5, correct? So x is greater than 5, something will be printed. What if I would have given if x is less than 5? Then because I have nothing here, there will be nothing printed. To deal with this issue, what we are going to do? We are going to do if else statement. In the if else statement, I am assigning a variable, a value, and then using that variable, what I am doing is I am assigning if this condition doesn't satisfy, then there should also be a statement, there should also be a print statement that will tell what to do. Now because there it was nothing like that, we had to do what? We only had this one statement and we only knew what was there. Now x is equals to 3, x is greater than 5, no, x is not greater than 5, and hence it should print this statement. So that's how we use else statement, x is not greater than 5. But what if I would have written x is less than 5? It should give me x is greater than 5, correct? Which is the statement, I mean the printed statement is wrong, but you get the idea that this will get printed then. So that's how we use if else. But now let's say I have another statement in which I have different level of checking. Let's say if x is 7 and I am saying check if x is greater than 10, then print x is greater than 10. But if I want to check that if x is between 5 and 10, and also a statement that it is below 5, then in that scenario I will use elif, which is a short form of else if. Else if x is greater than 5, I will say that I will print this statement. Otherwise, if this is not the case, then else x is obviously less than 5, and hence we will print this. So we'll see, and x is greater than 5 but less than or equal to 10. That's correct. Now we'll go to iteration, our last topic for today. So iterations are loops which allows us to repeat a block of code. And Python supports these two main loops, which are while and for. But why do we require loops? Let's say you want to calculate the sum of integers from 1 to 100. Now you can't just keep on assigning value to different variables, 100 variables, and then add them. Or you can't add all of those manually in the code. You can't write that. So you have to, I mean, obviously you are using a machine, so you should make things efficient, and that's where loops will help you a lot. So while loop is a loop where the syntax is you have a value I or any variable, and then you run that variable until a statement, until we have some condition that I should be less than or equals to 5, and I have assigned the initial value of I to be 1. What I'm doing is I'm printing I and then increasing that value. So what it is doing is it is checking, it is coming here, it is printing the value, and then it is increasing the value of I by 1, which is plus equals to means adding 1 to the I. So if I was 2, then I will add 1 and I will become 3, and then it will go again to this position and will check again if I is less than equals to 5. So what should we get? We should get 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and after that when 5 is reached here, when I is equals to 6, it will check while I is less than equals to 5, it is not 5, it is not less than equals to 5, so it will terminate the loop, and that's what it will happen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Similarly, there is another thing which is called as for loop. For loop does what? For loop is a similar type of loop to a while. The only thing is you don't have to assign any variable a priori. You can assign a variable inside the loop where you are assigning for I in range. Range is a function that starts. So what it does is it will take the starting point, it will take the ending point, and it will go step by step in that range. Okay, so one step at a point. So while range 1 to 6 means range, it will start from 1 and will go to 6 minus 1. It is a very peculiar thing in Python that the last range is not included. It is only till n minus 1. So range 1 to 6 means range 1, the values will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for I in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I am going to print I. The moment I exceeds by 5, it will stop. And the thing is, you don't have to increase I because it will increase itself. So that's what we will implement the code, and we should print 1 up to 1 to I, 1 to 5. That's what we are getting. Now there are few statements that are there. One is break, continue and pass. What are these statements? Well, break, continue and pass are the statements where break is the something that exit the loop, that helps you exit the loop early. Let's say I am checking a condition and I check that if I is equals to 3, I'm comparing, so double equals, so I'm comparing. If I is double equals to 3, I will exit the loop. Okay, so let's see. So from 1 to 5 you are checking, and then if it comes to 3 it will stop. So we should only print up till 1 and 2. Let's see. That's what we get. Now continue is something that skips the current iteration. So you can see here that if I is equals to 3, you will skip that step and you will not print that number. Apart from that, you should print all of the numbers that are there. Let's check it. See, I have skipped the I equals to 3 part and I have only printed 1, 2, 4 and 5. And there is one more thing which is pass, which does nothing. So if I is equals to 3, it will do nothing. If I is not equal to 3, there was nothing already happening. So you will print all of the variables, all of the values. That's what you are getting. So that's it for today's class. Uh, uh, that's all for the today's session. We have covered a lot, everything from the algorithmic thinking to loops, making. But I want you to do some homework also. Make sure to practice these examples that I have given here. Please do them and try solving small problems on your own if you can find any. And in the next session, we'll dive deeper into the functions, data structures, and different aspects of Python. Till then, be safe and love coding. Start doing that, and I'm pretty sure that you will enjoy this journey. uh, Subscribe, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and do whatever you can do with this that bell icon. Until next time, thank you.